And Leaf says that Reagan screwed things up. I'll tell you one of the things that Reagan really did mess up, though, is he cut way back on mental health. And I think to this day, that's why, you see a lot of this crime in places like New York City and stuff. You see a lot of these people, they're crazy. They're mentally disturbed. It's not like, somebody that goes on a subway and hacks you with a machete while you're not looking, or, those people have mental problems. They're mentally ill.
So Reagan shut those down. And
Yes.
What did they do with those people?
They went with the medicate them and send them on their way.
Oh my goodness.
And that's why there's so many of these mentally disturbed people out there, because that's what they do in a lot of these cases. They just, they have no place to put them.
Can I ask you about this? Because as a kid, there's a crazy guy that lived on my street.
Okay.
And he was constantly I was a paper boy delivering to his house. He was constantly telling me, don't tell anybody what I told you, because they're going to send me to like Bayside. Woodside.
Right.
And he was afraid that he was going to get sent to the loony bin.
Yeah.
So that was a thing that existed.
Oh, yeah. Woodside was right across from Wilson High School, right across from Peppermint Productions, corner of Zedeker and Indianola. And it was that way. And, we used to have mentally disturbed people like in our neighborhood, or you'd always have these guys that were out there just talking to themselves. And exactly, I remember we had this one guy named Rocco, and he would come down the street, but he wasn't aware of you or me, but he's just coming down the street and he is just yelling and screaming and, to who or what, as comedian Bill Barr has a joke about that. He was like, I don't think that there was that $50 reward for every admission. That wasn't a rumor going around on the South Side. If you turn somebody in, you got $50 just to keep the streets safe.
Right.
But even Bill Barr, he had this funny thing about, how you would have those people in your neighborhood, and all of a sudden, though, a van would come up and a couple guys in white suits come up and say, "Okay, Rocco, time to go. Go for a ride." And you see, I see this on there all the time, and I know that they point to New York City for the failure of the crime and all that. And I could see where some places it is, because they went with those no bail laws and all that stuff. And that really did not work. Believe it or not, that did not work.
Who would have thought?
Yeah. Who would have thought that? Yeah, we'll just let these guys go and we'll just let them go. But when you look at a lot of that crime that happens on Times Square, or in the subway, or the guy that knocked down the 80-year-old woman, those people are mentally disturbed. Exactly. They're not, you can't fix them by taking them to jail.
Right.
Jail does nothing to them people. Yep. You got to put them somewhere. And unfortunately, you almost might have to warehouse them, because what are you going to do with these people?
Can't be around people.
Right.
They can hurt somebody, or
right.
They're out of their heads, so they're not doing it.
Yeah, and no telling what they might do. And you see some of these people are repeat offenders and everything, and they make it seem like well, there is different kinds of, crime out there, and different kinds of criminals. We got these inner city gang bangers and stuff like that, and you got this and that. But I mean, there is a element of criminals out there that are just mentally disturbed. Yep. They're just crazy people. You see those people when you go through New York, you sit there and you see them. You're like, okay, that guy could snap at any minute.
Heck yeah.
I remember.
But you got to think, though, since the 80s, though, the treatments and medications have probably gotten way better than they did at the time.
Yeah.
So maybe we should start courting that again. Do something with these people. Give them some help.
Well, a lot of them are supposed to go there, and get treatments, or, report to this place and get your shot, or make sure you're taking your pills. And the problem, I think, with some of those people is the side effects of the pills make them not want to take it. Either they get real sick, but you see these people. The one day I was in New York City, and I'm waiting on the subway, and this was just after I went there, and it was after there was a whole series of New York, really right after COVID, really got crazy. I don't think it's as bad as it was, where people were just going berserk, because these people were living in the subways and stuff during COVID and whatever. And it just seems like it really hit those kind of people. So every day in the paper, yeah, Grandpa, what's the paper? Every day online, I'm looking on my app for, so So you look at that and you see these people, or you see a mugshot of them, or you see the video, and you look and go, okay, this isn't no like street thug, or this isn't a Venezuelan gang, or this isn't a American street gang, or this or that. It's a crazy person. Yep. So the one day I was there right after all this stuff was really kind of big, and I get on the subway, and there's this guy just yelling, I'm going to kill every white MFer in this place, and I'm going to take everybody out. So you're sitting there looking like, okay, is this guy
for real?
Yeah. Because it could be.
Right.
So I get off on the next stop, and I see some cops, and I says, hey, you guys might want to go back up there and check this out. And I go, why? What's going on? I go, there's some guy up there yelling he's going to kill everybody, and he's taking everybody out. And they're like, well, what do you want us to do? I says, well, he goes, and then he goes, we can't arrest him. So as long as he's standing there and not doing nothing, there's nothing we can really do. And I says, okay, well, just so you know, I told you
my part.
You know what? Hey, I'm gonna give you this guy's description. He's wearing a green jacket, and he's wearing a stocking hat, and he's got 2 different shoes on, but he's standing out there. So if the shit goes down, at least you guys will know who to look for. Don't worry, we got
clear
surveillance.
conscience.
Yeah, we got surveillance videos. Don't worry, buddy. Yeah, go along your way.
Does that make you feel any safer though?
No,
no,
absolutely not. Because these guys are just saying, yeah, and. I mean, that's about how it was. And you want to, what? Don't you want to go
talk to the guy? Get him off? Like,
no. See, look, there's another one right down there.
Yep.
And there's another one over there. And then we got to get that guy. And we'll take them all in, and then they'll just let them go.
Mm-hmm. Our jails can't hold them all. That's for sure.
And they really do need to get back to that. I think that's the thing, we're missing is this mental health stuff, I mean, with these school shootings and stuff, everybody's, we'll put more cops out there. We got to get to the root cause of what's causing these people to snap.
Yep.
And until you do that, you could have a cop. That's, even when I was in like 4th grade, 5th grade, my one teacher, Sister Claire, would always say, you could have a policeman on every corner and you're not going to stop crime.
That's it.
You could put a policeman on every corner, and they will, they're going to do what they're going to do. They're going to rob somebody, or going to shoot somebody, or going to stab somebody. And especially these people that it's mental health. It's mental illness that's causing all this stuff. It's not, a criminal mind plotting this. I mean, who in their right mind sees an 80-year-old woman walking her dog down the street and just comes running down full speed and forearms are in the head?
Right.
Or some guy that just is standing there on a subway platform and all of a sudden just pulls out an ice pick and just starts stabbing a complete stranger.
Yeah.
That's not somebody planning a crime, or, okay, let's go. We're going to break into this building, or we're going to steal a car. That's, these are people that have problems. They're cuckoo. And you're not allowed to say that anymore. Cuckoo and do that.
Little insensitive there, Freddie.
Where you do the finger around the ear. Hey, I think sometimes you didn't even have to say they were cuckoo. You just gave the finger around the ear, the rotating finger on the ear, and you're like, yeah, okay. Cuckoo. But I don't think you can call people cuckoo anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you're onto something too, because a lot of times, like the fentanyl and the drugs get blamed for the weird behaviors, but I think that's masking the mental illness that's at the root of that.
Yes. So not only do you have somebody that's mentally ill, so now let's pump them up with fentanyl or meth or whatever. Let's really push them over the deep end. Now, of course, but see, there's also that caliber criminal out there, right? The meth head, the drug addict. I think you got different elements. You got the mentally ill, you got the drug addicts, you got the gangbangers, you got your petty, criminals, your stick-up men and stuff like that. But most of these people are just whacked, and they need help, and letting them juice them up and putting them out on the street isn't necessarily the way to do it. I mean, at some point we should probably donate more money to, like, all right, this will be a lot better for everybody if these people were all just in a compound. But then we get to the point, who's going to take care of these people? Who really wants those jobs? You know, you can't find people to take care of elderly people. All right, what are we going to do with you? You're going to the, as they used to call it back in the day, the booby hatch. That was another one they used to call it.
Never heard that one.
You know, yeah. Well, you won't hear it other than here, you know, but I'm just saying this to make a point. You know, I'm not making fun of it or anything, but yeah, you know, that's what they used to call Woodside, the booby hatch. Well, they're going to come and put him in the booby hatch. This guy's cuckoo. You know,
see, the booby hatch to me is a good thing.
Yeah, like a bra.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the one
the first thing like I thought of. That's a terrible name.
Double D. That's a
booby hatch.
Or no, you're thinking booby hut. You know, yeah, you're thinking booby hut, not booby hatch. Well, I guess so. Down the hatch.
Yeah, easy access. You open the hatch and you got boobies.
Right. Yeah, that's about what that is. But yeah, that's that whole thing, man. It's not like it's just, you know, a criminal that I'm going out there today and, you know, I don't feel like working today and I'm going to collect welfare and I'm just going to go out and commit crimes. These are people, well, you know, and you look in New York and you see, like this one day, there was this guy standing outside the subway and people would toss their cigarettes down when they were going into the train. So they're going down the steps. They take one last drag off their cigarette and they throw it on the sidewalk. There was this guy there that looked like Topol from Fiddler on the Roof, you know, big beard and everything. And every time somebody would throw a cigarette down, he would run over there and smoke it and then throw it back down. And this guy, I stood there and watched this guy do this for about 10 minutes because I wanted to see how long it was going to go. And every time somebody walked by, going down the subway, take a hit, toss it, and that guy would run over there like a pigeon or something and pick it up and take a couple puffs off of it and throw it down. And then he would stand there and wait for somebody to do it again. Dang. And so, okay, so now if that guy stabbed you with an ice pick down on the subway platform, are you going to, you know, oh, that was just some guy, he come on, you know, I mean, the normal person, even the criminal element, they don't come and just stab you with an ice pick for no reason. They don't come and run down a street behind an 80-year-old woman knocking her dog and just knock her block off, you know,
disturbed,
you know,
for sure,
you know, and even some of those that are like, you know, ethnically related, like, you know, maybe they see a Jewish guy or they see a Muslim or they see this guy. They're just doing that because it's some of these people you can't even, it's not like it's like the Klan going out and finding these people. It's just people that are off mentally.
Yep.
And I think that's one thing that we just don't address, man. These mentally ill people in America. You know, why, you know, if you're homeless, think about it. If you didn't have some kind of problem, why would you rather live under the bridge in a tent and shit in wherever you could go and not take a bath forever? You know, I mean, there's got to be some kind of stumbling block in there, you know, or that, remember that they were feeding those people that are living under the bridge down here in downtown, and they had to finally move them out because people were just like, they were like feeding animals, and people were coming down there and giving them McDonald's and stuff. And they had the whole place completely littered and completely trashed and garbage piling up. And then they had their tent sitting next to that. Now, come on, you know, is that somebody that's got it all together? I don't think so, you know. And then, like you say, you put the drugs on top of that.
Yes.
And now here we go, you know.
Asking for it at that point. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's it.